Lower food taxes on the way, but businesses face new costs. Tonight on our news, your grocery bills could drop soon, but stores say the change isn't as simple as it sounds. And imagine earning an international degree only to be told it doesn't count. Tonight, a union says some BTVI lecturers are facing exactly that. Plus, a Sunday morning crash on Kemp Road turns deadly. We'll tell you what police say happened as the victim rushed to hospital. Then in our news at 7:30, lobster tacos, handmade treats, and even tequila desserts. The Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival is back, and local chefs are bringing the flavor. Our Megan Shepherd is live this entire week with tastes, sights, and sounds from the culinary event of the season. Our news, live at 7, starts right now. Welcome to our news, live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. With less than a month before government removes value-added tax from unprepared food and other essential grocery items, businesses across the country now racing to get their systems ready. The policy is meant to lower food costs for Bahamian families, but retailers say implementing the change is more complex than simply removing a tax. Bahamas Chamber of Commerce says stores must now reprogram point-of-sale systems, update pricing structures, and ensure receipts can accurately reflect multiple tax categories, including 0%, 5%, and 10% VAT, all while remaining compliant with the Department of Inland Revenue. Chamber Chairman Don Williams says businesses are also seeking clarity from government as they try to determine who will absorb any new costs associated with those changes.
We've been having some major open dialogue in terms of the changes in the VAT rates, how businesses are now going to be affected by it. Essentially, who is now going to take on the cost is what has been circulated quite a bit. So we wanted to understand, what's the government stance on it. And then from the business standpoint, even that change requires now you have to take on an additional cost. There's an additional cost in terms of can your systems now facilitate having zero-rated 5% and 10% when it's printed out on the receipt, because you have to be compliant with the Department of Inland Revenue. So it's all of those factors that are in place.
And Williams says one of the biggest factors in any policy change is communication and whether businesses are given enough time to prepare. He points to the original VAT rollout, which included training sessions and seminars for the business community, and says that same level of collaboration will be key as this new tax policy takes effect. Without it, he says, businesses could be left scrambling to make costly system changes, even as the policy is designed to bring relief to consumers.
What happens is the level of communication, let's say when VAT first came into play, you'd see that the government did a great job in communicating with the business community and the Bahamian public at large, seminars, training sessions. And then we find that there are some initiatives where there may not be enough collaboration, enough communication, and the rollout time is not significant enough for businesses to now adjust. So we're working diligently to ensure that we can get proper collaboration in a timely manner so that it's mutually beneficial to everyone.
All right, and as global tensions continue to disrupt trade and drive up costs worldwide, the Chamber Chairman, he's addressing those issues coming up in our news at 7:30. A dispute is emerging at Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute after some lecturers say degrees they completed online are now being rejected by their employer. The Union of Tertiary Educators Bahamas says those qualifications were pursued for personal advancement and claims refusing to recognize them could breach the industrial agreement. The union held a press conference at University of the Bahamas this afternoon, raising concerns about what this means for educators and their career progression. Joshua Williams is following this.
Tertiary educators at Bahamas Technical Vocational Institute are fed up, alleging the institution is not recognizing hard-earned online degrees and certifications earned at international schools. The union claims the school insists that all degrees must come from an institution approved by the National Accreditation and Equivalency Council of the Bahamas, or NAECOB. At a press conference today, Union of Tertiary Educators Bahamas President Daniel Thompson says it doesn't line up with their industrial agreement.
This is ludicrous. This is unfair. It is unrealistic when NAECOB itself is a fledgling organization with only 14 institutions recognized.
Despite this, UTEB claims NAECOB has no issue with those degrees. The union providing copies of these memorandums sent by NAECOB to BTVI, showing two separate cases where they say degrees are valid and accredited despite not being officially recognized. Dr. Karima Smith leads the Business Studies Department at BTVI. She says the situation is beyond frustrating.
In my case, I sought to get a certification. In Mr. Clark's case, he sought to get his certification. Okay? We offer the HR program at BTVI that was written and developed by the business studies team that I lead. I got the certification in HR. They are now questioning who told me to get my certification. Our industrial agreement told me to get my certification.
It's a sacrifice, she says, many professors, many of them adjunct, make.
Listen to me. These faculty members did not get a lighter load. Okay? They carried on with their full load. Some of them took on additional courses just to pay for their school fee in order to be able to make the sacrifice so that they could become more advanced in their knowledge.
They say they see no solution in sight, and now they're making this appeal.
Please, put some respect on TVET. It is not happening here at other institutions.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. Now, Our News did in fact reach out to officials at BTVI for comment, but we had not received a response up to airtime. And now to a 36-year-old in New Providence who is dead tonight after police say he lost control of his vehicle crashing into a utility pole early Sunday morning. Police say the crash happened around 5 a.m. on Kemp Road when the driver of a Chevrolet Trax traveling south reportedly lost control and slammed into the pole. Officers say they responded to the scene along with emergency medical services, and the man was rushed to hospital for treatment. But despite those efforts, police say doctors were unable to save him. Police tell Our News the 36-year-old was pronounced dead just after 7 a.m. And a 31-year-old man is behind bars tonight accused of robbing a jewelry store last month. Prosecutors say Adam Newbold and an accomplice held up jewelry and watch discount on February 25th, making off with $2,400 in cash and jewelry valued at about $11,000. Newbold appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Ancella Evans, where he was not required to enter a plea. Bail was denied and the case has been adjourned to August 6th for the presentation of voluntary bill of indictment papers. That legal process will allow prosecutors to fast-track the case directly to the Supreme Court for trial without a preliminary inquiry in the magistrate's court. All right, lobster tacos, handmade sweet treats, and even desserts with a little tequila kick. Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival is back at Atlantis, bringing together local restaurants, international chefs, and flavors from all around the world. And all this week, our Megan Shepherd is live from the festival, taking you inside the culinary event of the season with the tastes, the sights, and the sounds of one of the biggest food celebrations in the Bahamas. She's coming up right after the break, but before we get to that, it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Happy Monday, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Kenuna. Happy Monday evening, everybody. 79 degrees, pretty warm on the outside right now under mostly clear skies. We have a bit of a breeze, east winds at 16 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 77. Temperatures right now around the family of islands. We are in the 80s across most of the island chain with some upper 70s. 80 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, 78 over in Marsh Harbour, Abaco, and in Alistown, Bimini. We pick up 80 again in Nicholstown, Andros, Great Harbour, Key, the Berry Islands, here in the capital, and over in Governor's Harbour, 79 degrees. Central Bahamas, 79, Kemps Bay, Black Point, Exuma, Keys, Georgetown, Great Exuma. Pick up 77s in Arthurstown, Kit Island, Coburn Towns in Salvador. Pick up 78s in Port Nelson, Rum Key, and in Deadman's Key, Long Island. And down into the southeast Bahamas, 78, Duncan Town, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay. Pick up a 79 degrees in Abrahams Bay, Maguana, Providencial Islands, Turks and Caicos Islands, Matthew Town, Inagua. You are the warm spot right now at 80 degrees. Satellite radar composite, we have that high pressure regime still in place that's continuing to keep us with the fresh breezes across most of the island chain. We also pick up some moisture across portions of the northern islands, Grand Bahama seeing some showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. And of course, Andros being the largest landmass in the Bahamas, it's normal for them to be getting these thunderstorms popping up in the afternoon. Most of the activity will be pulling towards the west, and we do have an upper level disturbance still near the southeast Bahamas, still triggering some showers down there. We're likely going to continue to see those showers in the forecast through tomorrow. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us and take a look at your extended forecast when we come back.
Coming up in sports, the most dominant national team program in the country looks to keep their dominance going. Find out who made the cut for Carifta Swimming.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Meet the voices who want your vote. Coming to the RTV lineup, candidates catalog, a show that throws political heavyweights and newcomers into headline-grabbing challenges. Join Megan Shepherd as she dissects candidates' promises, pasts, and personas. Candidates Catalog, where strategy collides with conscience. Only on RTV.
From the K-9 unit
to the precision movement of officers on the parade,
to the boys in blue hair on the SWAT team,
to the police canteen,
to the legal department. Join me, Jasmine Brown, over the next few weeks as I continue my annual Police Month series, where I'll take a look at several divisions within the Royal Bahamas Police Force. You can catch the stories on R News starting at 7 p.m., as well as log on to the R News social media pages.
For more than a century, the Royal Bahamas Police Force has been the face of law and order. Established in 1840 with only
Back to our news, I'm Megan Shepherd, and our Candino Knowles has let the cat out of the bag. All week we are here at the beautiful Atlantis Resort on Paradise Island for the 4th annual Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival. I'm talking about the delicious food, the drinks, the great vibes, the events to attend, and everything in between. We'll be bringing it to you every night on Channel 212 and, of course, on our social media platforms. But to tell you everything you need to know to kick off this week, joining me now is Vice President of Marketing and Events, Mr. Jason Spencer. Always a pleasure to see you. I know I'm going to have a great week when I'm here with you on property. Welcome. So tell us a little bit, what do the people at home need to know to get their week started here?
Well, for this week, Atlantis truly turns into the culinary capital of the world. We're talking over 30 events, 100 different chefs, beachside events, large tastings, you name it. And it's truly a joyous event for the whole family, young and old, couples alike. Just come on down to Atlantis and partake and be a part of this festive culinary delight.
4th year now. What does this mean for the resort and, of course, for the island?
It's great. Like each year, we're getting bigger and better. It's truly an island event. Like I said, we have over 100 chefs participating, all from the community, as well as some international chefs that we brought in. And it gives guests a chance to get a taste of the island. I think it's huge and it's big, and we're going to continue growing and keep the partnership and add more and more restaurant partners. It's just an amazing time.
And I know there's always a surprise guest. Sometimes it's a surprise, sometimes it's not. Can we get you to tell us who's going to be the entertainment?
Sure. We have a wonderful array of entertainment. First, some of our local favorites, Willis and the Illis, will be playing at Jerk Jam. We also have KB and Friends headlining at Taste of Paradise. This just announced for our R&B brunch, we are bringing in Maya. She should tear down the house. That's on Sunday. That's going to be an amazing event. And then Sugar Ray as well at Jerk Jam. And then DJ Paulie D will be turning it up for us at Tacos and Tequila. So that's just a couple of the entertainment. Each event has some sort of entertainment. I just named a handful there, but it's music, food. What more can you ask for?
Absolutely nothing. All we can ask is for you to join us. So go ahead and invite the people out. Make sure you get your tickets.
Everyone, please get your tickets. They're going fast. Visit AtlantisBahamas.com. Like I said, we have 30 events, a culinary delight. We are the culinary capital of the world for this week, so come on down and be a part of it.
Absolutely. There you have it, Atlantis Paradise Island, the place to be this week. And for now, we are turning it over to sports with 10YS.
Thanks, Megan, and welcome to Our Sports at 7 presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. Every year is a new opportunity for Bahamas Aquatics to extend that Carifta dominance. Let's take a look at the team chasing 8 in a row. The Federation announced its team for the 2026 Carifta Aquatics Championship set for April 2nd to 9th in Fort de France, Martinique. The Bahamas has long been one of the dominant forces at the meet. Last year in Trinidad and Tobago, the Bahamas finished first with 979 points and 74 total medals, 27 gold, 23 silver, and 24 bronze. Ronaldo is in Houston following Team Great Britain at the World Baseball Classic, and don't think I'll let him get too comfortable not being on camera for a long period of time. He filed this report.
Thanks, John. This is Great Britain's second appearance here in the main event of the World Baseball Classic, and once again, Bahamians play a major role in the makeup of that roster. Highlighted, of course, by Yankees All-Star Jazz Chisholm Jr. Now, he relishes the role of an underdog not just for Great Britain, but for an opportunity to represent a bigger underdog in the world of pro baseball, the Bahamas. Chisholm's best game headed into Great Britain's tournament finale earlier today was Sunday's performance against Italy. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI, a stolen base, and scored 2 runs, thanks to a couple wild pitches. This was his second appearance for Team Great Britain following the 2017 qualifiers when the program was just in its infancy.
They lost to the eventual SEC champions, but we know Coach Yo didn't build this program for more victories. Ole Miss is looking ahead to Selection Sunday. Ole Miss women's basketball saw their run in the SEC tournament end Saturday night in the semifinals with an 85-68 loss to the 4th-ranked Texas Longhorns. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the U.S. confirming major military operations against Iran and the global impact already being felt. This as oil prices spike, missiles fly, and the conflict growing. And Cuba, for the first time, allowing joint ventures between state and private businesses. We'll tell you the major policy shift as the country battles an economic crisis. When our news returns.
For more than a century, the Royal Bahamas Police Force has been the face of law and order. Established in 1840 with only 16 men, it's become one of the largest law enforcement agencies in the country, employing hundreds of police officers. They've not only fought crime, but also built safer communities. And this March, in honor of Police Month, join me, Jasmine Brown, every week as we introduce you to the brave men and women who risk their lives every day to keep us safe.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
It's more than a podcast. It's a movement. This is Breaking the Silence with Junior Clovis, where conversations we avoid finally have a place to breathe. Every story, every struggle, every breakthrough is brought to light, unfiltered and unspoken until now. Join us this Sunday at 2 p.m. as we confront the topics that matter, share real experiences, and change the conversation around mental health together. Watch, listen, break the silence.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. United States President Donald Trump says America has launched what he calls major combat operations against Iran after massive joint U.S. and Israeli strikes targeted military and government sites across the country on February 28th. Iranian state television reports that Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed in the first day of strikes in Tehran. His son has now been named his successor. Iran responding with missile and drone attacks targeting Israel, U.S. bases in the region and several Gulf nations, while Israel also stepping up strikes against the Iran-backed Hezbollah militia in Lebanon. Meanwhile, the conflict already sending shockwaves through global energy markets. Freight costs to ship crude from Nigerian terminals have jumped from about $800,000 a day last week to $3.5 million a day. The refinery's managing director says the spike is directly tied to the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran, which has also pushed global oil prices from the mid-$60 range to about $118 a barrel. The Dangote facility, Africa's largest refinery, says it will keep operating at full capacity as long as it can secure crude at global market prices.
There are countries right now developed and developing without a domestic refining industry that are already rationing. They are already seeing panic buying. And heaven knows what will happen over the next 10 days, 2 weeks, as some of those countries with low supply security stocks start to endure significant shortages, because where are the molecules going to come from?
Mexico's Navy says it has seized nearly 2 metric tons of suspected cocaine in a major drug bust off the country's southern Pacific coast. Authorities say the interception happened more than 200 nautical miles off the coast of Acapulco in the state of Guerrero. Officials say the drugs were packed into 80 separate bundles believed to contain cocaine. The Navy says those packages will now be turned over to Mexico's Attorney General as investigators work to trace the origin and destination of the shipment. And Cuba making a major shift in its economic policy for the first time, authorizing joint ventures between state companies and the private sector. The move comes under a new decree law set to take effect in April, allowing state and non-state businesses to form limited liability companies. Under the rules, these new entities will have business autonomy, including the ability to set salaries, hire staff, and open commercial operations both in Cuba and abroad. They will also be able to operate in most industries, except for areas like healthcare, education, and military-related activities. The policy comes as Cuba faces a deep economic crisis with foreign currency shortages, declining tourism, and pressure from the U.S. embargo. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was March 9th. Then in our news at 7:30, Grand Bahama remembers a voice that informed the island for decades. Veteran broadcaster Sabrina Brown has passed away and tributes are pouring in. We'll tell you more about her life and legacy, but first, global conflicts driving up costs around the world, and Bahamian businesses say we could feel it too. Find out why business leaders say local companies must prepare for global shocks when our news returns.
Do you think you know domestic violence? Think again. It is not just physical, emotional, financial, or sexual abuse, and it doesn't discriminate. If you feel intimidated, harassed, or manipulated, you're not alone. The Bahamas Crisis Center and the Domestic Violence Task Force are here. I am Sergeant 3992 Tamika Neely. Let's break the silence on domestic violence. Let's create safer communities.
Meet the voices who want your vote. Coming to the RTV lineup, Candidates Catalog, a show that throws political heavyweights and newcomers into headline-grabbing challenges. Join Megan Shepherd as she dissects candidates' promises, pasts, and personas. Candidates Catalog, where strategy collides with conscience, only on RTV.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1912, Sir Francis Edward Bruce was born. He served as the last governor and commander-in-chief of the Bahama Islands and later became the first governor under the country's new constitution, which took effect on May 10, 1969. Then fast forward to 2012 when a Southern Air charter plane made a crash landing at Dedmanski Airport in Long Island shortly after 2 p.m., sending passengers into a frightening moment, but no fatalities were reported. In 2016, an American man treated at Princess Margaret Hospital claimed in a Fox News interview he suffered a botched appendix surgery, allegations that health officials at the time strongly disputed. And in 2022, the world's largest cruise ship at the time, Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas, docked in Nassau on its inaugural voyage, capable of carrying about 7,000 passengers. If you want to learn more about the events that shaped the day that was March 9th, head over to rnews.bs. And of course, that's where you can find all of today's top stories, and you can share your favorite stories right from the R News Bahamas Facebook page. That's going to do it for us in News at 7, but up now it's Natalia Hall-Thomas with the latest headlines. Happy Monday, Natalia.
Happy Monday, Candido. Well, we have this programming note for you tonight. Our TV will be bringing you live coverage of the BAISS Track and Field Championships. It all started today and will continue until Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can watch all action live on Channel 212 or stream it on our Facebook page as some of the country's top student athletes compete for championship honors. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our news, live at 7:30, as geopolitical tensions disrupt global trade and drive up costs, the chairman of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employees Confederation says local companies must brace for potential economic fallout. Also, a man has admitted in court to murdering and sexually assaulting a 72-year-old woman inside her home. Plus, a tragic ending for a Grand Bahama man who crawled from his wrecked car and prayed moments after crashing into a tree. Plus, tributes are pouring in for beloved journalist Sabrina Brown of ZNS Northern Service, who passed away after a battle with cancer. The story when our news live at 7:30 returns.
Candido Knowles here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's it's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is the great house to play, even down to the staff, is perfect. You're going to marvel.
Somewhere's Plaza, got it going on, yeah. Somewhere's Plaza, one-stop shopping is here. The family, community, for me. Southwest Plaza, come shop with us. Shop, shop, we've got so many stores. Shop, shop, our prices are right. Come spend the day, bring the family. Southwest Plaza, come shop with us.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall Thomas. First tonight, as global tensions continue to disrupt trade and drive up costs worldwide, business leaders here in the Bahamas are warning that local companies won't be unscathed by the economic turmoil. The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce Chairman Don says businesses should not only prepare for potential challenges, but also look for new opportunities in a shifting global market. Our Delvardo Emmanuel reports.
At the Chamber, we encourage businesses to be prepared. Not to prepare themselves, not just for changes that may happen that may negatively affect their business, let's say increase in fuel costs, labor, supplies, logistics, but also to be prepared to take advantage of certain opportunities.
As conflicts in parts of the world continue to create uncertainty for global trade, Chamber of Commerce Chief Don Williams says local businesses must keep a watchful eye on what's happening globally. Ongoing wars in Ukraine and the Middle East have already pushed up energy prices and transportation costs in many countries. And for an import-dependent nation like the Bahamas, those global shocks can quickly translate into higher operating costs for local businesses. Williams says while global instability can create challenges, it can also present new business opportunities for companies that are prepared.
For example, because of the global unrest that we're seeing now, you may have an opportunity to supply another business or supply another country, depending on your product or service. So at the Chamber, we're encouraging businesses to be prepared, stay vigilant, understand how any global trend will affect your business.
The Chamber says one way businesses can protect themselves is by diversifying their trade relationships and not relying solely on traditional supply chains.
We want the business community, any entrepreneur, to understand that there are various opportunities to not just trade directly with the U.S. because of our proximity, but whether it is out of China, out of India, even some of our Caribbean partners, Dominican Republic, Cuba. So we provide you with an avenue to seek some of those new trade routes and opportunities.
Reporting for our news, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
All right, thanks so much for that, Delvardo. Well, a man is admitted to charges of murder and rape after he killed a 72-year-old woman in her Rosconner home. It's a story that gripped headlines back in November 2024. 26-year-old Javon Forbes admitted to the charges stemming from the murder of Vernantia Butler when he appeared before Justice Renee McKay. Butler was killed after Forbes broke into her home on Rosconner before 3 a.m. on November 23rd. At the time, police said the killer entered her home through a front room window. Police also explained the autopsy reveals she suffered internal injuries. She was strangled and sexually assaulted by Forbes, who attacked her after she returned home from a birthday party. Forbes returned to court for sentencing in May. A Grand Bahama man who crawled out of his car and prayed moments after slamming into a tree passed away hours later as he was being treated in the hospital. The fatal crash happened on Grand Bahama Way in the Hunters area just after 9 last night. Officers who responded to the scene found a 2013 white cube with extensive damage from crashing into a tree after the driver reportedly lost control of the car. Police at the scene say outside the car was the praying driver who lost consciousness. A few minutes later, EMS took him to hospital where he died 2 hours later. Doctors told police the driver had a pre-existing medical condition. An autopsy is expected to determine his exact cause of death. Well, in response to several traffic fatalities on Eleuthera, police getting creative in promoting traffic safety, holding a traffic simulation for first responders and members of the community. You can see first responders practicing how they would respond to a traffic accident, along with EMS personnel, police and fire services officials, all going through routine drills. Officer in charge of the division, Superintendent Franklin Neely, says the training could save lives.
The first and initial exercise was done in the Southern District. We are proposing an additional exercise in the Northern Division. So we're going to partner up with our emergency partners, and we're going to put on another simulation in the time to be announced.
Last year, police stats show 13 Family Island traffic fatalities occurred. Out of those 13, Eleuthera accounted for 8 of them. Neely says there's much more work to be done.
Personnel demonstrated effective communication, adherence to protocol, and interagency cooperation. The objective of testing response procedures, command notification, and scene coordination was successfully achieved. We also was able to sensitize the public. They were passing along, inquiring as to what's going on. So they have an appreciation now as to what happens when there is an actual emergency.
And now to some sad news to report tonight. This as Grand Bahama is mourning the loss of veteran broadcaster Sabrina Brown of ZNS Northern Service, who passed away on Sunday, International Women's Day, after a battle with cancer. For decades, Brown's voice informed and inspired listeners across the island. And tonight, many are remembering the beloved journalist, mentor, and friend. Veteran broadcaster Sabrina Brown was born to Inez and Anthony Richardson on June 21, 1972, and was raised in the community of Pinders Point, Grand Bahama. Brown began her career at the Freeport News in Grand Bahama, then moved on to ZNS Northern Service at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in the Traffic and Billing Department before transitioning to radio, where listeners came to know her as Sweet Brown Sugar. Her warm voice and vibrant personality quickly made her a favorite on the airwaves. After briefly stepping away in the mid-1990s, Brown returned to ZNS Northern Service in 2003 as a reporter, later becoming a senior reporter and then an editor. Rising up through the ranks, she moved into marketing, eventually serving as director of radio, the final chapter of her career. We spoke with her colleagues at ZNS Northern Service on Monday afternoon, who say news of her passing has been deeply shocking, remembering Brown as a bubbly spirit who brought energy and warmth wherever she went.
She always was a well-rounded colleague. We had a pretty good friendship through the years.
And I had to work closely with her as an editor, a camerawoman, and we created a bond. And to wake up this morning not knowing I wouldn't see her anymore, I mean, it's hard and it's rough, but my comfort is that she's in no more pain.
Sabrina was one of my first reporters I worked with. I must say she was full of life. She was a fun person, loving person.
Even in her diagnosis, she found a way to, as a broadcaster, she found a way to turn this into something a little bit more positive, where she was able to do a show and do shows about what was going on with her.
Ann Hunt, a longtime friend who attended Hawksbill High School with Brown, shares what her personality was like.
Sabrina was a former Miss Hawksbill High, as well as myself. I was a former Miss Hawksbill High, and she always used to tease to say, who was the prettiest Miss Hawksbill High? And she would say, she was, and I would say, I was. Sabrina was a sweet, sweet soul.
But beyond the microphone and newsroom deadlines, Brown was deeply committed to uplifting the next generation. She founded the Aim High Girls Club, a free program dedicated to empowering and guiding young girls. In one of her final interviews during the organization's Character Building Conference with Our News in November 2025, Brown spoke about the mission behind the initiative.
We want to sow good seeds into them because we realize that they are the future of not only this country, but of the world.
Brown died on March 8th at the age of 53 after a battle with cancer. She leaves behind her husband, Dwayne Brown, and their 16-year-old daughter, Tyler Brown, her family, along with many colleagues and community members who say her voice, mentorship, and legacy will never be forgotten.
The last words we spoke, me and Sabrina spoke, we spoke about the goodness of God, and she was telling me how to keep trusting in God.
Condolences tonight from the Our News team to Sabrina Brown's entire family, including her mother, Inez Richardson, her sisters, including Shavonda Cooper, her husband, Dwayne Brown, and daughter, Tyler Brown, and the entire ZNS Northern Service team. Sabrina was not only a respected journalist, but someone many of us, including myself, had the privilege of knowing personally. Well, nice weather conditions on this Monday evening. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and a happy Monday evening, everybody. Mostly clear skies, temperatures on the warm side. 79 degrees is our current temperature. with an east wind at 60 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 77. Satellite radar composite, we still have that ridge of high pressure in charge of our weather that's producing moderate to fresh breezes across our area, also bringing in some Atlantic moisture. So we saw some showers and some isolated thunderstorms, Grand Bahama as well as the Andros area, getting in some of that activity. Also, we still have that remnants of an upper level disturbance moving across the central and southeast Bahamas, still sparking some showers down there. This regime will remain in place through tomorrow, and those breezes will continue to keep us with some cooler, mostly comfortable temperatures, but those temperatures will be in the low 80s during the daytime. Nighttime temperatures will be in the low 70s. That's your quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. Look at your extended forecast. It's still to come.
Still to come in our news, food lovers are gathering at Atlanta's Paradise Island as the New Providence Wine and Food Festival returns this week. Our Megan Shepherd is live when our news continues. Stay with us.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Meet the voices who want your vote. Coming to the RTV lineup, Candidates Catalog, a show that throws political heavyweights and newcomers into headline-grabbing challenges. Join Megan Shepherd as she dissects candidates' promises, pasts, and personas. Candidates Catalog, where strategy collides with conscience. Only on RTV.
From the K-9 unit to the precision movement of officers on the parade, to the boys in blue hair on the SWAT team, to the police canteen, to the legal department. Join me, Jasmine Brown, over the next few weeks as I continue my annual Police Month series, where I'll take a look at several divisions within the Royal Bahamas Police Force. You can catch the stories on R News starting at 7 p.m., as well as log on to the R News social media pages.
For more than a century, the Royal Bahamas Police Force has been the face of law and order. Established in 1840 with only 16 men, it's become one of the largest.
Welcome back to our news. I'm Megan Shepherd, and as you heard right before the break, we are live at the Atlantis Resort for the entire week. The 4th annual Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival kicks off this Wednesday. From the events, the entertainment, and everything in between, we'll be here on property making sure you know what to do, where to go, when, all of the behind the scenes actions. Now, I know last year Kendrick Lamar kind of dismissed the impact of the Big Three, but that's neither here nor there. What I can tell you is Nippy Whiff's Big Three has been tried, tested, tasted, and proven. Here's what you can look forward to this week, beginning Wednesday, March 11th. On Wednesday, we have tacos and tequila. On Thursday, Taste of Paradise. And on Friday, Jerk Jam. Now, each of those events will have its own list of entertainment. So, right after this broadcast, log on, online, get your tickets. Now, to inspire you to do that and to not wait till the last minute, we did some of the heavy lifting. And by heavy lifting, I mean we went to the restaurants, we did a little bit of tasting, and we want you to see what you can have a little bit of taste of this week when you take part in the 4th annual Nippy Whiff. Take a look.
It has been a really good experience working alongside international chefs. You know, a lot of locals who haven't seen us in a bit, they come out to the festival and they get to see a different side of us than what we normally have at our restaurant on a daily basis. This year, we decided to lean in on the seafood angle, and we decided to do a spiny lobster taco we have a special sauce It's going to be kind of Asian inspired, but with Caribbean flair that we're known for.
Also adding to the fiesta flavor on Thursday is Solamar. Back for their second year, executive chef Felix Gonzalez says events like this are a big opportunity for local businesses to connect with the visitors and to showcase what Bahamian chefs can whip up in the kitchen. But he's not giving everything away, keeping the exact dish they'll be serving under wraps for now, but he promises it's something you won't want to miss.
It's a great opportunity for local business because that way, we allow the tourists that come into the Bahamas to enjoy what we're doing here, the flavors that we have to share, what they get to taste what we're doing here in Paradise. I will invite you all to come and enjoy what we're doing. I have beautiful tacos, flavorful, super tasty, handmade, everything traditional way with some Bahamian touch. It will be great.
And of course, no food festival would be complete without something sweet. Putting a creative twist on dessert is this young entrepreneur who's bringing treats with a special kick.
I'm going to have 3 desserts that I'm going to be displaying, but 2 of those are going to have tequila inside of it because I love tequila. I'm sure you love tequila also. So I'm going to be having a margarita cheesecake, and I'm also going to have a tequila sunrise cake and then a peach cobbler just for those that don't drink.
With local and international chefs and eateries participating, this year's festival promises something for every palate. And of course, sweet, savory drinks. What more can you need or want to entice you to be here beginning Wednesday? Opening night swirl party, and then Thursday through Saturday, the lineup remains the same. That's tacos and tequila, taste of paradise, jerk jam, and of course on Sunday for my 90s R&B girlies, Maya will be at the brunch. And of course, we want to see you, everyone at home, here at Atlantis, beginning Wednesday through the weekend for the 4th annual Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Foods Festival. Stay tuned, our news continues right after this break.
Coming up in sports, hear who gets to represent the Bahamas at Carifta Swimming and keep the streak going. More from the World Baseball Classic and the college hoops, an update on conference tourneys.
For more than a century, the Royal Bahamas Police Force has been the face of law and order. Established in 1840 with only 16 men, it's become one of the largest law enforcement agencies in the country, employing hundreds of police officers. They've not only fought crime, but also built safer communities. And this March, in honor of Police Month, join me, Jasmine Brown, every week as we introduce you to the brave men and women who risk their lives every day to keep us safe.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
It's more than a podcast. It's a movement. This is Breaking the Silence with Junior Clovis, where conversations we avoid finally have a place to breathe. Every story, every struggle, every breakthrough is brought to light, unfiltered and unspoken until now. Join us this Sunday at 2 p.m. as we confront the topics that matter, share real experiences, and change the conversation around mental health together. Watch, listen, break the silence.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Welcome to Our Sports presented by 10th year seniors. I'm John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. Every year is a new opportunity for Bahamas Aquatics to extend that Carifta dominance. Let's take a look at the team chasing 8 in a row. The Federation announced its team for the 2026 Carifta Aquatics Championships set for April 2nd to 9th in Fort-de-France, Martinique. The Bahamas has long been one of the dominant forces at the meet. Last year in Trinidad and Tobago, the Bahamas finished first with 979 points and 74 total medals, 27 gold, 23 silver, and 24 bronze. Martinique also holds a special significance for Bahamian swimming. Since 2014, the Bahamas has dominated the meet, winning 7 straight titles and 8 of the last 10, with Martinique as a team that broke the streak in 2016. The Bahamas also won its first ever Carifta swimming title in Martinique in 1991. Ronaldo is in Houston following Team Great Britain at the World Baseball Classic, and don't think I'll let him get too comfortable not being on camera for a long period of time. He filed this report.
Thanks, John. This is Great Britain's second appearance here in the main event of the World Baseball Classic, and once again, Bahamians play a major role in the makeup of that roster. Highlighted, of course, by Yankees All-Star Jazz Chisholm Jr. Now, he relishes the role of an underdog not just for Great Britain, but for an opportunity to represent a bigger underdog in the world of pro baseball, the Bahamas.
Chisholm's best game headed into Great Britain's tournament finale earlier today was Sunday's performance against Italy. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI, a stolen base, and scored 2 runs, thanks to a couple wild pitches. This was his second appearance for Team Great Britain following the 2017 qualifiers when the program was just in its infancy. Now, obviously at a different stage in his career, he spoke about what it means to serve as an inspiration.
It means so much to me, especially coming from a small home country, in the Bahamas, and knowing how hard it is for a country that's not known for the sport of baseball to get on the map or to even be inspired to try it.
We'll have more to come from the WBC as time winds down here in Houston, but I see a lot of food festival shenanigans happening, John. Don't let them leave you out. I'll be back in a minute.
They lost to the eventual SEC champions, but we know Coach Yo didn't build this program for more victories. Ole Miss is looking ahead to Selection Sunday. Ole Miss women's basketball saw their run in the SEC tournament end Saturday night in the semifinals with an 85-68 loss to the 4th-ranked Texas Longhorns. Now they head into Selection Sunday with a strong NCAA tournament resume at 23 wins and 11 losses. Ole Miss navigated a season filled with adversity, including winter storms that forced the team out of Oxford for several days without power or water, along with key injuries late in the season.
And I'm just grateful for the opportunity for us to experience those, because we are going to learn from them and use them as we try to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
That would do it for sports. This is 10YS, and the return of the BAISS Track and Field live stream is back. Make sure you tune in to channel 212 or the social media pages of R News or 10YS. Back to the studio.
When our news comes back from the break, nice weather conditions to start off the work week. We'll be back with your extended weather forecast when our news returns. Stay with us.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record. We challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
Conflict doesn't have to end in chaos. Before it escalates, take a breath. Step back. Choose peace. Listen to understand. Respectful conversations lead to real solutions. I am Sergeant 3599 Johnson of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, urging you, let's talk it out, not fight it out.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, cultural icons, industry leaders, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet: held world leaders accountable, and given voice to the people. From politics to culture, business to the environment, no topic is off limits. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m.
This is our news. Welcome back. Ridge of high pressure still in charge of our weather. That's keeping us with those fresh breezes across the island chain. Also, that wind is bringing in some Atlantic moisture across us. So we're seeing some showers and some isolated thunderstorms. Andros being the main island, seeing most of the activity. Got some thunderstorms this afternoon. Grand Bahama as well as the Abaco also seeing some isolated showers and thunderstorms. Upper level system still hanging around, the remnants of it near the southeast Bahamas. That's continuing to trigger some showers down there as well. That regime will remain in place through tomorrow. So we're looking for those fresh breezes to continue as well as the passing showers. In the meantime, that ridge of high pressure will continue to dominate our weather over the next couple of days. Satellite and radar is taking a little while to come up, but most of the activity out there in the open Atlantic, that's associated with a frontal boundary that will stay out there as that ridge of high pressure continues to generate those breezes, and that will keep most of the activity at bay. Taking a look at our future forecasts, nothing happening really across us, just the occasional isolated shower and thunderstorm activity across our chain of island, and that will continue through tomorrow, Tuesday. Most of the activity associated with that upper level disturbance in the southeast Bahamas will be pulling out towards the Atlantic and away from us, and by Wednesday we're looking for some clearing conditions, and those breezes will continue. Boating forecast for the northwest Bahamas tonight to tomorrow. Small craft use caution, risk of rip currents still out there. High east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knot seas, 2 to 4 feet near shore, but up to 6 feet offshore in some easterly swells. Tide is presently low, will be high at 1:12 in the morning. The next low tide will be at 7:40 in the morning as well. Central and southeast Bahamas, caution flag for you down there as well. Risk of rip currents also remains high. Easterly winds at 15 to 20 knots. They will be gusting high at times near the southeast Bahamas. Seas running 4 to 7 feet in open waters in some easterly swells, and those seas will be higher along Atlantic exposures. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, nice conditions tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the low 80s. We expect those temperatures to continue all the way through the rest of the week and into the weekend. We're looking for popping 84 on Thursday. Some isolated showers expected Wednesday, but all in all, it should be pretty nice taking us into the weekend. There is a front expected by Friday, Saturday's time frame, so we could stick in a couple of showers for the rest of the weekend and into early next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Greg, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall-Thomas. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team.